The mind can be a powerful thing. It can be a weapon, it can be a tool, and it can be your best friend. And sometimes, to protect you from events and memories of events that are too painful to deal with, too painful to remember, it suppresses these events and memories. This phenomenon is called as memory repression. And a lot of survivors of traumatic event experience this. That's why they are not able to remember the exact details of such traumatic events. I went through something like this similar at the age of 25. But before I get into that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a certified voice and accent trainer, and I currently work in the sales and marketing department of my organization. I have been interviewed by certain media houses to shed light on mental health and CSA. Sounds like a simple term, CSA, an easy to remember short form, but it is much more than that. CSA is child sexual abuse. To shed light on this issue, I run a page on Instagram called as Break the Silence. I have also been part of a documentary called Hush Hush, which documents the journey and emotions of many survivors like me. Hello everyone, I am Ishank Chhibber and this is my journey. This journey started in the year 2013-2014 when I used to stay in Bangalore during winters. And it all started with nightmares. We have all had nightmares. We know how to deal with them. We know how to cope with them. They are just bad dreams that we forget. But there was something different about these nightmares. I remember waking up, screaming and howling for help, drenched in sweat. And slowly and gradually, the nightmares kept becoming regular, almost on a daily basis, till the point where I felt unsafe to sleep. I didn't want to sleep. And my then roommate and my best friend noticed this about me. He thought that I'm under some kind of stress, maybe work related. But nonetheless, he told me I should seek professional help, professional mental help. I did so. I reached out to a counselor, and with a lot of hard work, I realized that what I was seeing were repressed memories of sexual abuse. Yes, I was sexually abused at the age of 8. It's a wonderful age, right? You're carefree, the world around you is beautiful, people are supposed to protect you and keep you safe. Sadly, all of that was taken away from me. But the silver lining in this was that my mind repressed all of this. And thanks to that, I had some semblance of a normal lifehood. And in this semblance of normal life, I have good memories. Memories filled with laughter and joy. But I was now on a new journey. Journey to redefine myself, rediscover myself, to find out who I was. And this happened, this fact that I started remembering all of this happened because I went through an exceptionally emotional event in my life, and that became the turning point. The next 5 years I spent in therapy. 5 years spent trying to heal myself, trying to find out who I am all over again. It wasn't easy. These 5 years were like roller coasters. There were days that were so bad that I could not get up from the bed. All I wanted to do was cry. And I did exactly that. Then there were days where everything was good. I was a ball of energy. I was a man on a mission. I wanted to do as much as I could, achieve things. Good days, as I call them. And then there were days where I was numb. The world just moved past me during such days. I remember there were times when I did not see the point of going to therapy. And I did miss out on a few therapy sessions. But with the constant effort and hard work, I was able to see a change. I may not be able to quantify it, but the good days kept increasing. My therapist helped me understand that I'm in the present, that what I'm experiencing are just memories of what happened. In the present time, I am in control of my mind and my body. But I still had bad days. I still had neutral days where I wouldn't even feel the warmth and joy that people brought in my life. And I would just pass through those days. Even my family and friends, as much as they tried to help me with words of encouragement, with the fact that they were always there with me, standing with me, trying to make me remember that life is beautiful, life is amazing, I just didn't want to listen to it. I wanted to shut them out. I wanted to shut them out of my life. I wanted to do anything to forget what I went through. And it wasn't easy. I wasn't just dealing with repressed memories. I was dealing with anxiety attack, panic attack, night terrors, and depression and suicidal thoughts. Too much for anyone to handle. And this was years of repressed pain, which even caused me to fly into rage at the slightest provocation. But the good part is that my support system was always with me. And my therapist always helped me work through it. And it was in therapy I was diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, where my body still remembered being held against my will. I felt helpless like an 8-year-old. My sound therapist, with the help of healing vibrations, helped my body forget that pain. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. What also bolstered my healing journey was the fact that I was a part of a support group. Rather, I am still a part of that support group called as BOLA, a support group for adult survivors of child sexual abuse. Being in that group made me realize that there are others like me. It broke the isolation for me. And in BOLA, I attended a wonderful workshop where I came across 3 terms: creator, survivor, and thriver. Not in this exact sequence, but 3 very powerful terms nonetheless. So a survivor is a person who has acknowledged that they had been through trauma. A creator is a person who is trying to move past it and create a healthy life. And a thriver is a person who is abundantly happy. I can now say at the age of 31 that I'm a thriver. I'm still trying to figure out what it means, but it's an amazing feeling. I'm at an amazing place in my life. I'm at peace. I make my own happiness, my own joy. And even though there are still bad days, they don't impact me as such. During my process of healing, I realized that the issue of child sexual abuse is something that we need to talk about. It's not an isolated case. In fact, in the year 2018, a study was conducted which showed a 22% jump in the reported cases of child sexual abuse. The same study showed that 21,400 girls reported being sexually abused and 204 boys. Both boys and girls have reported being sexually abused in educational institute, which amounts to 3% of the reported cases. But does this mean that this is a small number? Does this mean that this is not important? Or the fact that unreported cases are not true? Mine is an unreported case. The fact that I was gang raped at the age of 8, because it wasn't reported, does it mean that it wasn't important? Does it mean that my pain and suffering isn't important? Child sexual abuse is not just something that we can brush under the rug. Not when there are 3 to 8% boys who have experienced child sexual abuse in terms of reported cases, and 8 to 31% reported cases of girls who have experienced this. Imagine safe places like educational institutes are no longer safe for them. This has become a pandemic that has rooted itself in our country, in our homes, in the most safest places, making such environment unsafe for a child, making it painful for them to be there. And it's not just about girls or boys, although we do see some kind of gender bias in that. We do not acknowledge that 4 to 57% of boys report being sexually abused. Why is that? Why is there such a big gender bias when it comes to CSA? Is it because every time we hear these terms, we associate women as the victims only? Is it because every time we hear the term trauma, domestic abuse, we only associate it with women? Or the fact that when a man opens up about their traumatic past, be it domestic abuse or CSA, we tell them things like, "You're a stud. Maza aaya hoga. Are you sure you got raped? You're a male, aren't you? Wait, is that even possible? Did you enjoy it? Player. Are you sure you're straight?" Such comments and questions, and many more, is what I heard when I started opening up about this. And these are not things that you tell a survivor. But at the same time, I heard comforting comments like, "I'm so sorry you went through this. If you ever need to talk, give me a call. I'm here for you. You're so brave to open up about this. I don't know how to help you. If you want, I will listen." These are things that comforted me. And these are things that you should tell a survivor when they open up. It is important to understand that it is difficult to open up about trauma. And it's not an easy process. When a person opens up about their trauma, they trust you. And that trust is fundamental, because a traumatic event like domestic abuse, sexual abuse, rape, breaks that trust. So if you're in a position where you are either a parent or you have young kids in your house, talk to them about safe and unsafe touch, stranger danger. Believe them if they tell you something like this has happened with them. Seek mental and professional help. Do not shun them. Do not disbelieve them. Talk to them about it. But remember to take care of your own mental well-being. Your mental health is also important. I had an amazing support system that helped me through it. I still remember what my mother said. That became my life mantra. Don't let your past define you. Life is beautiful and is full of opportunities. My best friend Nikita told me, "Darling, you're an amazing person. And I'm here for you." And in the recent past, when I was dealing with feeling dirty because of what I went through, my dearest friend Nirvan told me, "You're not dirty. You're just a human being who experienced something which was very traumatic. And you're still living your life. And that is how I associate myself, as a human being who went through something that was painful, who went through an experience that no child, let alone an adult survivor, should go through. Something as heinous as child sexual abuse, assault, rape, or domestic abuse cannot be gender biased. It does happen to both male and females, a girl child and a male child. We need to acknowledge this. We need to talk about this.